Hello, boys and girls. This is the brand new January 31st State of Play. I'm just going to record it and comment through it for your watching pleasure later, assuming I upload this, which I may or may not, depending on what we see. This is Helldivers 2. Video quality on my end seems very good anyway. I'm doing this on the fly, so I'm not sure what my OBS settings are, so this may look very good or might look terrible on the recording. I'll have to see. Oh, mecha robot-y things. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios, and I'm honored to present the first State of Play of 2024. The first 3 years of PS5 have given us incredible stories, immersive worlds and groundbreaking gameplay from PlayStation Studios and their partners. We've also expanded PlayStation Plus with new features including PS5 game streaming. And with PSVR 2 and PlayStation Portal, which released last November, we're committed to offering
I don't know why anyone would want to buy Portal, considering the price, considering how much you can buy Steam Deck for.
Like Helldivers 2, which kicks off a year of amazing experiences and diverse ways to play. Today, we're looking ahead to titles coming later this year and beyond, with extended gameplay and announcements we hope you find as exciting as we do here at PlayStation. Enjoy the show.
Oh, a lot of people don't like this game because of the female character design in it. The way she's dressed and everything they don't like, apparently. Bit too old school for them, I think. Bit too early mid-2000s.
Welcome to the world of Stellar Blade.
Impressive rump. Stellar Blade is what's called,
The story begins on post-apocalyptic Earth, where a mysterious enemy called the Natiba has forced the human race to flee to an off-world colony. Players will take control of Eve, a member of the 7th Airborne Squad. Her mission is to save the planet by defeating the Elder Natiba.
All we must do is complete the mission.
While most of the 7th Airborne Squad is lost during their
get-up is rather flattering.
Eve soon meets two new companions. Adam, born on Earth, is in pursuit of an energy source called Hypercell.
Make sure to stay cautious. It's where the Alpha Natiba is.
So this must be Adol 7.
Lily, a member of the 5th Airborne Squad, provides engineering support.
Lily Artemis II. Then I can be your engineering support.
She puts her technical knowledge to use by upgrading Eve's equipment throughout the game.
Here, done.
Something does feel different.
I'm not sure if this game has been made in Japan. I think it's been made in Korea, South Korea. But I may not be correct on that, so don't quote me on it.
A city built underneath the wasteland by the last human survivors on Earth.
A whole city underneath the wasteland.
Eve is called Angel by the survivors and is an object of both awe and fear.
I'm not selling anything to you.
They'll seem a bit wary at first, but will gradually loosen up as Eve shows a commitment to rebuilding the city.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
I see we have guests.
I can't believe the Angel is here.
The survivors will sometimes ask Eve for help.
It's like a hub area.
Wait right here.
Their requests will often lead her to the wasteland and the Great Desert.
I'm not quite sure if this is a true next-gen game, and by that I mean a game made in a completely next-gen engine, or whether it's like an Unreal Engine 4 game built to take advantage of the current gen console hardware.
A supply camp in a place like this.
You'll occasionally find supply stations set up by previous airborne squads.
It looks very, like...
At each camp, Eve can purchase various consumable items.
They seem to have spent quite a bit of time on the character's skin.
Acquire new skills.
Looks very kind of high resolution and clean.
Upgrade equipment, and
That's
more.
a different clothes she's wearing.
She can also take a well-deserved break to restore her health.
She's got different outfits / costumes.
Eve will often encounter people in need, and other non-human beings who may need her help.
Request your assistance.
Whether to assist or ignore them is entirely up to the player.
Okay.
On her journey to defeat the Elder Natiba, Eve will sometimes encounter hostile survivors. Or something worse.
Eve, what are you going to do after you defeat the Alpha Natiba?
All airborne squad members exist for one sole purpose.
You mean the extinction of all Natibas, right? To think that the point of your existence is to snuff out another species. It is not an easy fight.
That
It's
implies
fine.
she's a robot
Indeed,
of
it's
some
a-
type, or maybe a clone or genetically engineered.
Angel. That's the unofficial name for members of the Eve Airborne Squad.
A bit of boob physics there. Just noticed
I
that.
can feel the hatred, but I cannot feel the source.
I will find it, and I will make it pay. Open it! It's windy!
Good voice acting. Yeah, if it's this is all assuming it's all in game, which it appears to be. It looks, yeah,
Traps!
very nice to look at stuff. Is this a? I don't know if this is a PlayStation exclusive though.
Different.
This is no longer the drone you knew.
So close to the goal, headed to light that I will hold. Now it's time to gather what's lost. Show me how stars fall down and to shine bright.
Another different costume.
That I'll be your side, so that we can see the
Okay, so that was even more skimpy.
I'll keep.
It's quite possible character may have been designed this way aesthetically, just to draw negative attention as kind of a PR ploy. That's possible. Yeah, I don't see how that doesn't not like generate negative commentary already. It already has generated
안녕하세요.
negative commentary from
대표이자
someone on
게임의
Digital
디렉터인
Foundry, if memory serves
이
me correctly.
게임은 우리가 수년간 유저 여러분들께 선보이기 위해 꿈꿔왔던 게임이며 플레이스테이션 5 그리고 플레이스테이션 스튜디오의 전폭적인 지원 덕분에 그 꿈을 현실화할 수 있게 되었습니다. 기나긴 여정이었고 빨리 팬분들이 4월 26일 스텔라 블레이드를 만나보시기를 기대합니다.
Now I don't have a PS5 and I'm in the process of upgrading my PC, so I'll either wait for it. It doesn't say whether it's a multi-platform title or not, so if it's coming to PC I might get it. Not actual gameplay. And this is this Shadow the Hedgehog who's supposed to be all kind of gritty and rad. I stopped paying attention to the Sonic games before this guy turned up. I think he originally turned up in a 360/PS3 game where he had guns. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. Sonic Shadow Generations, okay. You're gonna cell-shaded anime style art design is gonna, I think, really benefiting from this generation just from a combination of just raw resolution, lack of anti-aliasing, high resolution textures in development for PlayStation 5. Okay. That looked pretty good. I think this is coming to PlayStation Plus as a free game next month. I'm not sure if this game has been released yet, but if it isn't, or if it has been released, maybe their reason it's on PlayStation Plus is to kind of push up the player base and get some microtransaction sales. Yeah. Dave the Diver. Very successful game. I haven't looked at any videos of this of gameplay that I haven't played it, so I can't comment on it. It's a good game or not, but is that Godzilla? Godzilla, May 2024. That's a bit of a marketing thing. I doubt they paid for it, or if they sold enough copies of the game, maybe they did. What's this? Was like your isometric games. If it's an existing IP, I don't recognize it. I'm not seeing anything in any of these games that says only on PlayStation 5.
Hi everyone, I'm
so.
Sean Benson. This next game is a result of a very close partnership with Konami and marks the return of a horror franchise that has been with us since the original PlayStation. Let's take a look at what's next for Silent Hill.
Fatal Frame? Oh, Silent Hill, okay.
Maybe I can be like her.
To be honest with you, it would take a lot to get me really interested in buying a Konami game, considering the kind of stuff that was coming out back in the day when, you know, in the late stages of Kojima's time working for them. Like the abusive treatment of employees, like senior people being like developers being reassigned to the job of like, you know, emptying the bins and, you know, and doing other kind of janitorial work, like senior developers and so on.
Within the grasp of death. What are you hiding inside? Maya? What the fuck? I'm sorry. Stop! Please! What did I do to deserve this?
Full game free to play. Interesting.
こんにちは。サイレントヒルシリーズのプロデューサーを務める岡本元井です。ご覧いただいたのはサイレントヒルザ・ショートメッセージという全く新しいサイレントヒルとなります。本作は本日この後プレイステーション5で無料配信いたします。コナミが送る現代を舞台にしたサイコロジカルホラーをぜひ体験してください。それでは最後にこちらの映像をご覧ください。
I missed that. Is it out now? Or very soon? Yeah, Kojima was working on a pseudo Silent Hill game for Konami. If it wasn't actually a Silent Hill game, again, before he left, if memory serves me correctly. And then that got killed, to the point where the only copies of that game that exist, or that demo exist, or that was released for it, are the ones that weren't deleted off on the PlayStation 4s they were installed onto. Because this is a different Silent Hill game, obviously. It is. Looks very Resident Evil 4-y. I assume this is a separate game. Silent Hill 2. Yeah, Blooper Team, Unreal Engine. Well, is it a PlayStation 5 exclusive or not? Creator of Bioshock. Okay.
Dad, say hi back. Of course they know. What if I told you that every word you say is being recorded? Every thought you've ever had. Your love. Your fear. Your hate. We're just planted in your brain like weeds in a garden. What would you do to free yourself? We both know the answer to that question. Nothing. You are the frog in a pot, boiling so slowly. You don't even know what's happening. But I'm here to set you free. Whether you like it or not.
Looks good, alright. what you broke. Judas. Again, that looks cool. Like almost like a play on maybe, you know, the original BioShock where you're a hacker who messed up a space station's AI and then you end up having to deal with it yourself. Fix it.
Into the flame.
But that game could be cool, but again, no indication of whether this is a PS5 exclusive. And if it was, you think it would be, so
Its warmth.
in the console wars, I don't so far see anything that's helping Sony.
Now, focus your mind on your wife and step into the void.
Oh, it's a VR game. Big budget VR game. To be honest with you, I think the biggest mistake Sony has made with the PlayStation VR 2, considering how cheap it is compared to most of the stuff that's available options for PC, and the Oculus stuff, Meta's VR headsets. Cool. A VR game from Metro. Is the big mistake, from my opinion, is that they should have made it the PSVR 2 compatible not just with PlayStation 5 but also PC. I think that'd help them sell an awful lot more units and an awful lot more associated games. PSVR 2 would probably become the most common VR headset used in PC virtually overnight, considering its capabilities and price, if they did that. And they could get their own digital store for the VR content and sell it on PC. Yeah, it's all very well and good, but to get access to these games, I'd have to spend €1,000. You know what I mean? It's, you know, the bar to entry is too high. For me personally.
I knew you would come. A risen one.
Like, I could literally get a 4080 for that kind of money. Or an RTX 4080 for that kind of money. And I'd much rather spend that on a GPU than on a PS5 and PSVR 2. And then more money on games for it. I think this is Dragon Dogma 2.
Look out, Arisen! We're under attack!
Look here, you beast! Come and face me!
Assuming this is Dragon's Dogma 2, it looks pretty cool, alright.
Monster, watch out!
Oh, is that a Minotaur?
Formidable, Arisen.
Yeah, those higher render resolutions and lots of RAM really do help these true next-gen games look real good.
Strength of will, Arisen One. Those who can be of aid to you will reveal themselves in time.
Bit of slowdown
Thy
there.
will, thy soul, these are all the means thou hast to carve thy path anew.
Yeah.
Yet your wicked schemes will avail you not, Watching One.
Credit where credit is due. Capcom's really been knocking it out of the park over the last
皆
couple
さん
of
こんに
years
ちは。
for
チーム忍者の安田です。
single player
ライド
AAA
オブザローニ
games.
ンは自由な探索や幅広い戦闘を体験できるオープンワールドアクション RPG です。歴史上の人物たちと紡ぐ因縁によって物語が変化していきますので、ぜひ一人の浪人として皆様それぞれの幕末を体験してください。
So far, for the most part, it's a great
幕末の世界をお楽しみください。
state of play in terms of telling people who already own PlayStation 5s, you know, what multi-platform games are coming to their system. But they're not showing me overt. Certainly doesn't make, you know, there's nothing saying overtly in any of these of any of these games, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I mean, they only had one last year, Spider-Man 2.
本作の舞台の一つ、横浜です。19世紀幕末の時代、最初に国外に開かれた横浜では、和と洋が入り混じった独特の街並みが広がっています。主人公は鍵縄を使って屋根の上に登ったり、装置アビキルを使って高所から滑空し上空を移動することも可能です。攻撃やガードを駆使しながら敵の攻撃を石火で弾いて体勢を崩すことも可能です。敵の武器と相性のいい流派を選ぶと戦いを有利に進めることができます。
Some of those textures didn't look too good there, the rock stuff. How did they not kill that guy? Put him off a tower and ran him through.
戦闘では日本刀や長槍以外にも海外からもたらされた短銃などさまざまな武器が使用できます。発明家である伊賀七と因縁を深めるとさまざまなからくり装置を入手できます。鳥火砲は伊賀七が作ったからくりで現代の火炎放射器のような強力な遠隔武器です。鳥火砲や和洋折衷のアクションである銃剣など西洋の技術を生かした武器をうまく活用すれば強敵にも打ち勝つことができるのでぜひマスターしてください。幕末を生きる人物たちと紡いだ因縁が物語に大きく影響します。ぜひライズ・オブ・ザ・浪人で一人の浪人として運命を切り開いてください。
Yeah, last year was chock-a-block of really highly reviewed games. I think there's a good chance this year is going to be the same way. Because again, a lot of games should have come out last year and the year before, in 2022 and 2023, got disrupted because of their development because of COVID. Because of the coup. And so I think this year is going to be maybe as packed as last, or maybe even more so.
気持ちの揺れてないやつはついてこい。
それに倒すも何も幕府はもうとっくに死にてえなんで。
What did you do?
What's this?
That wasn't serious. I'm such an idiot. Oh, Anna!
There are a few things I need to make sure you understand.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
No, please! No!
The past is beyond our control. You have to accept this in order to move forward.
It was just a prank, man.
Everything you do, every decision you make from now on will open doors to the future.
The choice is yours.
Yeah.
I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this.
The horror game.
Sam. Looking for me.
Until Dawn, okay. Yeah, in other words, they're continuing their thing of kind of re-releasing, remastering and re-releasing PS4 exclusives on PC to generate more money. Or Decima. Death Stranding, is it? I have the first game. I have Death Stranding, but I've never played it. In my perpetual pile of shame. Hands over a mouth. This is definitely a Kojima game.
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam. And to the DHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations. Come on, I'll help you get your bearings. This is the ship's armory. Here you can check your weapons and put them through their paces.
Color is weird. It's not. Doesn't think it's a bug on my end. It's the game.
These rooms over here belong to other members of the crew.
Just this color normally.
They're pretty much the same as yours. And the shower's down at the end.
This is one hell of a ship you got here. Courtesy of the UCA, I'm guessing.
No. As I told you, Drawbridge is a civilian outfit. But we do have a generous patron with access to plenty of capital and tech.
Sounds like a UCA big shot.
Don't ask me. We've never met face to face. They value their privacy.
Seriously? No better than to believe that bullshit.
It's the same deal as America. The people here are all spread out, cut off from one another. We want you to help us bring the world together.
Sam, would you mind if I joined you?
Humor him. His knowledge and experience will probably come in handy down the road.
Yes. Really, Sam? Your buttocks? What about
That isn't
shotgun?
it. If that isn't a joke about God of War, I don't know what
the
is.
driver's seat.
Sam, do you read me? You'll first need to access the Mexico side plate gate terminal.
Now, is this a PlayStation exclusive?
Confirm network coverage. We can take the
I did be
Magellan.
very clear that it was if it is, so I doubt it. We'll
The
see.
problem is, not everybody wants to be part of the UCA.
First
That's
game
not
wasn't
the plan,
hugely
Sam.
successful,
The UCA
so
isn't looking to expand its
I don't think
borders.
it was. Maybe it's not a lot of copies.
Just
but
like with Mexico, they want to bring new regions
Lord.
into the network. Anyway, the DHV Magellan's here to back you up. As always, you'll be the one leading the way to expand the network.
What's your role in all this? You're the commander, huh?
That's right. These days I'm fragile in name only. You brought America together, helped it be reborn as the UCA. But I'm afraid Death Stranding is far from over. Humanity is still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own. Especially within the UCA. Bridges no longer oversees the distribution network. They withdrew once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. So after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside the UCA. We decided to call ourselves Drawbridge.
With the support of the Chiral Network and APAS, humanity will be free from the need to move around. Bots are capable of handling deliveries.
He's alive.
He called himself a ghost, but...
We found a way back from the beach just so he could kill us.
He said he came back to get revenge on you and me.
Hey, brother. Did you miss me? Yeah, I figured you'd pay this place a visit, seeing as how I've been distributing the fruits of this fine factory all over the continent. Guns and violence, the whole damn world could be yours. Same as it ever was. Oh. Looks like you decided to trade in that rope for a stick this go-round. Well, I suppose even a porter has to pull the trigger from time to time. Oh, what about you? Hey, buddy. Are you just another soulless little husk, huh?
Let go of me!
Oh.
Pathetic guitarist. Where's the rest of your band?
No, Well, ain't that something?
Was it you, Higgs? Huh? Was it you that killed Lou?
You still don't know, do you?
That's a cool weapon.
Something he said. You don't know a goddamn thing about Lou.
All right, Sam. Let's see what we can find on Lou.
If you want answers, you're gonna have to find them yourself. But the ones you do find, well, that pain you
There's a lot more exposition in this trailer for this game than there was for its
Sam the man,
the previous one.
In the dark, about everything.
Don't forget, coming on this expedition was meant to help you find the strength to carry on. And you have. We all know you've got this. Now it's time to finish the journey, Sam. Please understand, Sam. We never meant to string you along.
That chrysalis, we found her inside. It was filled with a fluid that contained amino acids. One's identical in structure to the kind found in tar.
I'm sorry, there are
That's
amino
the
acids
younger
in tar?
sister.
As in proteins?
Of course. How else did you think that chiral creatures could emerge from it? Some have even theorized that the tar is a sort of primordial soup.
I was there. I saw her home. And it was a hellhole.
You see, after you left Bridges, I decided
I
to
know the
join
name of that
LPD.
actress, I just can't remember
According
it.
to them, BB-28 was flagged for disposal and subsequently incinerated 4 years ago. long before you and Lou first met.
That's coming next year. Okay. Nothing says it's PS5 exclusive. Nothing that would just drive me to go out and buy a PS5
and now here
over
with
a new
me today
GPU.
is visionary game creator and founder of Kojima Productions, Kojima-san. Hi, welcome. Today, I'm excited to announce that together, as part of the PlayStation and Kojima Productions partnership, Hideo is going to take us on an exciting new adventure. One that I've been encouraging him to reinvent for years.
はい、全く新しいオリジナルの IP になります。新世代のアクションエスピオナージゲームです。準備は始めてますけども、デストランディング2の後に本格的に小島プロダクションで制作にかかります。ソニーさんとは、
PlayStation
30年にわたりエスピオナージものを一緒に育ててきたという、
but that's years away. May not even debut this
またソ
console
ニーさんは、
generation.
ゲームだけではなく音楽も映画もされています。間違いなく強力なコラボレーションになるはずです。さらに2年後には僕の、ゲーム制作人生の40周年を迎えます。このタイトルが、僕の集大成の作品になると確信をしています。
A new action espionage game by Hideo Kojima. This is one of my favorite genres, one that I've been hoping you would revisit with a bold new vision. Can you share anything else about this new development?
ですね、まだ詳しくは言えませんけども、最先端のテクノロジーと、世界中の才能を集結して作る予定です。もちろんインタラクティブなゲームなんですけども、ルック、物語、テーマ、キャスト、演技、ファッション、サウンド、どれをとっても、同時に映画でもあるようなものです。本作で、映画とゲームの壁を越えたいと思っています。
We're all really excited about this project, and we will fully support you with the latest innovation Sony has to offer. More details to come.
Stay tuned.
I assume this is separate from the title they announced at the Xbox press, last Xbox showcase where Kojima was a guest. Columbia Pictures. Columbia Pictures? Why would they shoot that at Columbia Pictures?
Before we go, I have one final announcement. State of Play will return February 6th with an extensive look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Square Enix will be sharing new gameplay details, along with exciting news you won't want to miss.
That's very soon.
We hope you enjoyed the show. See you soon.
Right. Overall summation. A lot of cool looking games. Again, I think the
our app has a tool to help you spend subscriptions and keep an eye on that online shopping. Which is
right, I've killed the desktop sound before any music could come on that could be classed as what's the word for it? As what is the word for it? I don't know, it won't let me max out either way. Let's go to there. That should scare things. In summation, they've again, Microsoft and Sony have really kind of upped their game in terms of the quality of the streams they're doing, certainly on YouTube. There was none of the kind of the pixelation we saw in earlier years, or blurring of the imagery when you had fast motion on the screen. So that has improved immensely and helps with the presentation. Ubisoft, their press conference at last E3, as it were, what is now no longer E3, it's the Goff Nileys instead. Was terrible. I mean, it made like the quality of the video stream is so bad. It made their Pandora, David Cameron, James Cameron's Avatar based video game look nowhere near as good as it actually does. I still got no interest because it's a Ubisoft game. I might buy it when it's on sale cheap. And it also made their Star Wars game, look bad as well. So they've hugely improved the quality of the video, if nothing else. But, you know, outside of that, as someone who didn't own a PlayStation 4, I bought a PlayStation 3 when they got a bit cheaper when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. I probably would have bought a PlayStation 4 for The Last of Us 2 if I've never played the game. I've looked at some reviews of it and so on, and the kind of the general kind of leaks before it came out and afterwards was that it's kind of quote unquote The Last Jedi, the video game. So really no interest in that. So I didn't bother buying a PS4. And now that it seems that most, if not all, first-party Sony exclusives or second-party Sony exclusives are eventually going to end up on PC, you know, if you have a decent rig, you don't necessarily have a reason to buy a PlayStation 5 anymore. I mean, I do because I've maintained a PlayStation Plus account throughout the kind of most, if not the entirety, of the PS4 and now into the PS5 era. So I've been kind of buying those free games you get, as it were, with PS Plus every month. So I've got a backlog of exclusives for the PS4 that I already effectively own. And so if a PlayStation 5 gets cheap, if they begin meaningfully discounting the price, or considering their hardware sales and how much they're trouncing, notionally trouncing Microsoft, I don't think they necessarily have a reason to do so. I'd pick one up because, again, I've got a de facto large library of PS4 games that I can play and a growing library of PS5 games I can play that I already own, because I have the PS Plus subscription, whatever the basic one is now that they've changed it. But outside of that, if you're looking at from kind of the standpoint of quote unquote the console wars, I don't think that gave you any reason, this state of play gave you any reason to buy a PlayStation 5 if you don't already have one, in the sense that if you have a PC, I didn't see any games there that I know for certain are not coming to PC. And if you own an Xbox, I didn't see any games. You know, we get one announced Kojima, you know, exclusive game, I think, coming down the tracks after Death Stranding 2 was done and released. I didn't see anything in that you know, yeah, it says for coming to PlayStation 5 and it says that for all the games, but there was nothing concrete saying that this is, you know, the Death Stranding 2 is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, that it's not coming to Xbox, that it's not coming to PC either at release at the same time it comes to PlayStation 5 or at some point afterwards. And there may be some games that were shown off that are either permanent or limited time PS5's exclusives, but they seem to have been, if there are, they were intentionally, what's the word to use? They were intentionally indescript about which games were exclusives and which ones were not, possibly to give the impression that they were all, you know, PlayStation exclusive, or just to pretend the console, you know, that the other consoles, Switch, and we're getting Switch 2 at some point this year, and that the Switch, Switch 2, Xbox Series S and X don't exist, or that the Steam Deck doesn't exist, and the other kind of handheld Windows gaming PCs are now coming along as well, that while they're kind of open platforms, they do have fixed hardware. And it is quite possible we might start seeing developers releasing versions of their PC games that'll recognize when they've been installed on the Switch and go into kind of an optimized for Switch mode, or might even run natively in Linux to get taking maximum advantage of the hardware. These are things that may happen, particularly if the Switch's install base gets large enough. If they've already sold 3 million units plus, I've read some reports they have, and they keep selling, you know, those kind of numbers, then maybe it might become, you know, worthwhile not just to optimize and use do a few optimizations and take advantage of Valve's emulation that allows you to run Windows games on the Steam Deck's Linux OS, but actually release a Linux specific version for the Steam Deck that has, you know, specialized optimized settings for the Steam Deck's fixed hardware. Again, that may or may not happen. But again, I own a Steam Deck. I am awaiting delivery of what is, as far as I'm aware, will be the most powerful CPU ever released for the AMD's AM4 platform, which is a Ryzen 5800 X3D. I've already got the heatsink for it. Huge. And you know, that's an upgrade for my computer. That will significantly increase it. I'm still running a first gen Ryzen, so it's going to be a big CPU upgrade. And because they're not being, as far as I'm aware, again, they're not being aggressive on price discounts on the PlayStation 5. They've brought out a new slim version. It's basically the same price as the old one, so they're just, you know, selling this one, obviously, I think, at a greater profit margin than they were selling the earlier versions of the hardware. But again, you know, I might be going on and on here, but this does not convince me to go out and buy a PlayStation 5 if I'm an Xbox owner, and it certainly doesn't convince me to go out and buy a PlayStation 5 if I've got a PC, and I can expect most, if not all, first and second / third party exclusives to eventually be released on PC. Now, again, I do have, as I've said already, personally, a large number of PlayStation digital games because of PS Plus. So I might eventually go out and get a PS5 when they're cheap, or if I can get one secondhand in a year or two cheap. But as it stands, if in the context of the console wars, I didn't see anything there that was a game that was put in front of me that I'm aware for certain is kind of overtly a PlayStation exclusive. Maybe the two Konami games, because there was something mentioned about joint development with Sony, like Sony was helping fund its development, in which case it might be a console exclusive. But we'll have to see there. But outside of that, I'm sure the Xbox fanboys will be overjoyed and negging the PlayStation ponies, do they call them, I think? Left, right, and center on this. But considering they only released one game last year, and the previous CEO of PlayStation apparently made a lot of the development studios reorientate towards multiplayer orientated live service games, and those are studios that have no experience in doing that at all. Yeah, they spent a lot of money buying Bungie, but whether that'll actually be a help to them, we know that probably was the big ticket one that might have actually, assuming they weren't going to release it on PC, which they probably would be for a free to play live service game, which I assume is what it was. The effectively PUBG clone, or what I got the impression was a PUBG / Battle Royale game based on The Last of Us. I would definitely have played that, particularly if it was coming to PC as well as PlayStation. But that's been cancelled. One can only, it's possible that, again, an unnecessarily large amount of development capacity was reorientated under the previous CEO. I'm not sure if he's gone yet, or he's leaving like first 3 months of this year, and his name again escapes me. He's a Brit. He's been working for them for a very long time. I can't remember his name. Let me know in the comments below. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if for some strange reason you haven't liked this video already, please do so. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel for some strange reason, please do so. And again, comment below your thoughts on this state of play. You know, any suggestions for a video I could do, any suggestion, what's the word for it? Constructive criticism in terms of how I could improve the quality of my content. Let me know below. But this is, you know, if you're looking at this as Xbox versus Sony, they had one exclusive last year. I don't think, in retrospect, I think Starfield has been, which I have access to because I got Game Pass, but I haven't bothered playing it yet. I'll get around to it. I don't think is in mere, you know, was it 6 months after it came out at this point? Maybe a bit more than that, maybe a bit less. I think the general consensus is that the weakest open world RPG Bethesda has released in a very long time. maybe it's I don't again maybe it's better than Fallout 4. I don't know. I haven't completed that game. Maybe I'll get around to that. Maybe I won't. But they do need to. I haven't played it, so I can't comment. I can't give you my thoughts on it. But if Microsoft is just throwing one Game Pass exclusive at the Game Pass subscriber base month after month after month, Pal Worlds is a Game Pass / Xbox exclusive. It's already sold. Is it 7 or 8 million unique players on Game Pass / Xbox, I think? Or maybe that's the number of unique sales it's had on Steam. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that game is being, very, very successful. And if I believe Stalker 2 is out this year, and if they get out more kind of exclusive games, both that they've already announced and that they haven't yet announced this year for Game Pass and by extension Xbox, and Sony's got like one, even if it's like one first party exclusive kind of single player campaign game this year that's good and that's a hit, they may well start to lose the war of attrition. Because again, if they get lots of exclusive third party games, that won't necessarily be a problem. But I didn't see anything in this state of play that overtly said this game is PlayStation only, either forever or for a limited period of time. There's a lot like PlayStation 5 and developed for PlayStation 5 saying that, but that doesn't mean it's a PlayStation exclusive. And so, yeah, it's, in terms of if you're looking at it from the standpoint of competition between Microsoft, Sony, and even also Nintendo, for all we know, pretty much all the games, or the vast majority of games, certainly where we actually saw actual gameplay, may either be coming at launch to the other consoles, both Switch 2, potentially at much lower resolution and possibly frame rate, and then on Xbox Series S and X, and also on Game Pass on PC, and on Steam on PC, and Epic Game Store on PC, then, it's not, it doesn't like it's as I said, if you're trying to get people who already have an Xbox, already have a PC the way I do, and you're trying to get them to sell them PlayStation hardware, then I don't think, if you're trying to sell them on gaming and on video gaming, whether it be on console or PC in general, yeah, great conference. But in terms of this is what you're getting with us. This is what this is what you get in the PlayStation ecosystem. You don't get anywhere else. If there was stuff there, or if it was mostly that kind of stuff, it clearly wasn't, in my view, laid out very clearly so that everyone understood that what they were looking at was PlayStation only, or mostly PlayStation only, or heavily PlayStation only. And so, for the video games industry in general, kind of upping video games and AAA video games, yeah, it's a good kind of state of play / online press conference. But for PlayStation, I don't think it helps them at all. And as I said already, with the PlayStation VR 2, last time I checked, PS5 and a PSVR 2 are like half $500 each. I think if you really wanted to stimulate PSVR sales and associated game sales, they needed to release kind of a digital store of their own. Sony does on PC, and have the PSVR 2 work with Windows PCs and with their PC digital store. And then they could probably double their PSVR 2 install base. Because again, it's at €500. I'm not aware of how much the other current PC VR headsets cost, but considering its capabilities, it's got to be really competitive at that price. And then the Oculus stuff or the Meta headsets. You're locked into the Meta ecosystem. I don't think that's necessarily as good as the Sony one, or as, you know, high fidelity. But anyway, that's my my particular thought on PSVR. Anyway, I've already laid it out, my thoughts. Don't want to keep yammering on forever and ever and ad infinitum. You'll just all get bored. As I've previously said, let me know what you think of the state of play in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, let me know. If you have an in-between nuanced view, let me know. Like the video, and if for some strange, insane reason you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so for more absolutely scintillating content like this. This is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.